Hey everyone, this is our first chapter in pre-calc. We are going to review main topics from Algebra 1 and Algebra 2, starting with exponents and radicals. Today we'll be focusing just on exponents, and we will get to radicals later this week. Please pause this video at any time to take notes or rewind to hear something again. I do not require that you take notes, but remember, all of our quizzes are open notes. So first off, what is an exponent? Well, an exponent is how we represent a number that is repeatedly multiplied. So instead of writing 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, we can just write 2 to the 4th power because we have 4 2's being multiplied together. This is much quicker and easier than writing out the product form 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Also, some terminology that goes along with exponents. Our little number up top is called the exponent or power, and the big number in front of it is called the base. So in this example, 4 is our exponent and 2 is our base. Now, moving on to our main topic of discussion, the rules, or as we call them in math, properties of exponents. Our first set of properties are multiplication properties. We have two different properties, the same base property and the same exponent property. The same base property states that if we have 2 to the 3rd times 2 to the 5th, so they both have the same base of 2, we can add our exponents together. So if we have 2 to the 3rd times 2 to the 5th, this would become 2 raised to the 3 plus 5, which is equal to 2 to the 8th power. Now our same exponent property states that if we have two powers with the same exponent, so for this example, 5 to the 3rd times 4 to the 3rd, we can keep our exponents and multiply the bases. So 5 to the 3rd times 4 to the 3rd will become 5 times 4 raised to the 3rd power. This then becomes 20 raised to the 3rd power because we multiplied the 5 times the 4. Our next set of properties are our division properties. Again, we have the same base property and the same exponent property. Now for the same base property, again, we'll have the same base, so 4 to the 5th over 4 to the 2nd, but we will be subtracting our exponents when we divide powers with the same base. So 4 to the 5th over 4 to the 2nd power would become 4 to the 5 minus 2, which is equal to 4 to the 3rd power. Now our same exponent property states that if we have a quotient that has the same exponent, we can keep the exponents but divide the bases. So 20 to the 4th power over 5 to the 4th power would become 20 over 5, or divided by 5 to the 4th power, which is equal to 4 to the 4th power. Then we have our power properties. So we have power of a power, a negative exponent, and also a zero exponent. So power of a power is when we have a power raised to another power. So 5 to the 3rd raised to the 6th. When we have a power raised to another power, we can multiply the exponents. So 5 to the 3rd to the 6th would become 5 to the 3 times 6, which is equal to 5 to the 18th. Next, we have our negative exponent property. So whenever we have a negative exponent, we take the reciprocal of our power, or we flip the location of the power. So 4 to the negative 3 would become 1 over 4 to the 3rd, because we took the reciprocal of 4 to the negative 3rd. Or we can have 1 over 2 to the negative 7th, which would then become 2 to the 7th, because again it was flipped. Lastly, we have our zero exponent property, which is the easiest property and my favorite property. It states that whenever you have anything that's raised to the 0 power, it will always equal 1. So 9 to the 0 becomes 1. Negative 18 raised to the 0 power becomes 1. Also, and even this ugly expression here. So 34 times x times y over 25 times x times z raised to the 0 power is still equal to 1. So these are all of our exponent properties. Now take a few minutes to try the problems in your Google form. Okay, thanks.